TikTok. It's a platform made by China that's kind of replaced things like Vine. And Musical.ly was its original name. It became TikTok later. But here's the problem. This is where things get a bit darker, in case it wasn't dark enough already. Lately there's been a trend where people are told to blow their thumb until they pass out. Now, most of the people who do this don't realize that it's both a sexual thing, but also very dangerous. And the worst part is that children are now participating in this. Several 11-year-olds and 8-year-olds and people of around that age, children, literal children, have been doing this challenge, passing out. Some have been left with brain damage. I even thought one of them died, I think I heard. I'm not entirely certain, you'll have to look that up to check me. But this is very concerning. You know, there are health risks to passing out. Passing out should never happen on purpose. That's not a good thing. Like, if you're gonna pass out, you gotta use professional anesthesiasts. They know how to give you anesthetics to make you pass out naturally, without endangering your life too much. But there's always going to be at least a little bit of risk, because you're not supposed to be passed out. That's not a thing that you're supposed to be. So, but then here comes the following argument, which I would use often, which is natural selection. Well, yes, I do believe in natural selection, but I also think we can do things to avoid the people being weak. And I think one of the things to do that is, one of the ways we can do that is by educating people. And that includes children. And educate children about the dangers of following random trends. And I think that that's what we need to do. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say cancel TikTok for that reason, because there's enough other good reasons why we should cancel TikTok. But the main thing that I want to say here is that we need to put more responsibility on businesses to crack down on endangering minors. If TikTok allows children on the site, or even if they don't, but it's just so little regulatory measure taken, that they need to be held accountable for it. Are they responsible for everything that happens on their platform? Probably not, because it's still individuals doing things. But when there's children involved, it becomes a different story. Another argument that people could make is that the parents are responsible. But if you've ever had children, or know what children are, then you know that it's not that simple. Regardless of the fact that some parents are out of whack with technology and modern day platforms who keep changing anyway, all the time, like I mentioned Vine before, but besides that fact, you also have the fact that parents can't supervise their child 24/7, because that just becomes ridiculous. Because then they can't pay anymore because they have to work, and a babysitter is pretty expensive nowadays. So it's not economically accurate for parents to be responsible. I think at most it's the government that's responsible, and besides that it's the businesses. So we need to crack down on these businesses in that sense. And with crack down I mean say, hey, listen up buddy, I know that you want this business to run well, but you gotta tone it down with the endangering children thing. We'll help you design systems that will work. And this is also like the next question, so what do we do about this? Well, I think we should use facial recognition. I think businesses should use facial recognition to see if someone has a children's face. And if someone gets a false positive, someone with a really smooth face for example, then I want them to just be able to send in an ID to say, okay, this is who I am, this is my age. And they should be allowed to block out their name and things like that, but their age needs to be visible. That's the point. And I'm talking about a picture, a photo, not a digital scanning thing, because that could be easily doctored, more easily than the other thing. Which is also something that AI can check nowadays as well, is the integrity of images. So I think that would be a good system to use for this. So, I've noticed the problem, I've noticed the solutions. There's one more thing I would like to say, which is that I want everyone who knows children or who has a child in their life, or parents that might not know about this, I want you to inform parents and children of this fact and what it does. Oh.